All right, y'all already know what it is. It's your boy P Double, one half of the Bootleg Cable Podcast. And I just wanted to talk to y'all real quick about this Broner Pacquiao fight. So, for those of you that watched, it was a real boring fight. It was a big fucking snooze fest, right? And the reason why it was a snooze fest is because Broner wouldn't fight, right? A lot of people try to make the comparison of Broner to Floyd Mayweather. Earlier on in his career, that could have been a fair comparison, right? But I feel like lately, that's definitely not a good comparison. And the reason why it's not a good comparison is because Floyd actually won his fights. Whether we like it or not, Floyd won his fights, right? Broner is what, 3-3 in the last 7 fights or some shit like that, or 3-3 in the last 6, or whatever the case is. I don't even know his record, but whatever the fuck, right? He ain't been doing good in his last 6 or 7 fights. So I'm sitting here watching the fight. Pacquiao almost knocked his ass out in the 7th round, and he also almost knocked him out in the 9th round, right? Shout outs to Pacquiao. Good fight. He came there to fight. He ain't come there to dance around and play or whatever the case is. Watching it, I felt like it was a little bit too much respect between each other, between the two fighters during the fight. I felt like it almost felt like Broner was kind of saying something in Pacquiao's ear during different points of the fight. Well, if y'all get a chance to watch it again, you know what I'm saying, comment, y'all let me know. But it seemed like Broner was kind of saying something in his ear, and I don't know if I like that between fighters, right? Respect before the fight, respect after the fight. Keep it clean during the fight, and do what y'all got to do in the ring. But all of that touching gloves every single time and da-da-da-da-da, I hate that shit. I hate to watch fights like that because it makes me feel like they saying something to each other that is putting the fix in. It feel like, for me, it feels like when fighters do that, like they're talking to each other like, okay, this round I'm going to do this and this round I'm going to do that. And that might not be the case, or it might be the case. I don't know. If you're going to talk to each other, talk shit to each other during the fight. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But Broner basically pulled the usual Broner. He was not active at all. He was not active at all. I think the most punches he landed in any round was like 6 or 8, some shit like that. He wasn't active at all. To me, he won 1 round in the fight, and the 1 round, he barely won that shit. And I think it was round number 4, where he had good counters with Pacquiao and this, that, and the third. But off all that, y'all saw the fight. Y'all knew that. We all knew that Broner was going to lose from the beginning. I want to talk about something else. Broner, to me, is the reason why fights like this is the reason why boxing has been on a decline for the last however many years. Fights like this is the reason why UFC is taking over the fight game. Fights like this is the reason why you don't get any good boxing video games anymore. I think ESPN stopped making Fight Night, and they quickly shifted over to making video games for UFC fans. Boxing, the main boxing attractions are not as advertised, and that's the main problem with boxing. The guys that we have on top, the guys that we have the most eyes on, they aren't providing the action fights that we want. We know that Pacquiao gonna come in and do his thing, but it's his opponent that we're worried about, right? You're worried about Broner because we know that Broner is strictly a counterpuncher, especially in the second half of his career. He doesn't come to press the action. He's coming to counterpunch, and whatever the decision is, he's cool with it because he's getting a check. And as a black dude, right? I gotta be honest, as a black dude, I'm watching this and I want the black man to win, right? I'm all for a black man out here getting his money and positivity, this, that, and the third, showing that we could rise above shit, whatever. Like I'm all about that, right? But this cat here, the disrespect at the beginning of the fight, then at the end of it, he sat there and talked that shit to make it seem like he thought he won. Like, dude, it's no way in hell that you thought you won that fight. I don't know if Mr. Cunningham was saying something to him that made him think that he was even close to winning that fight. Like, dude, you didn't do shit the entire fight, but damn near get your ass knocked out. And at the end of it all, yes, we can respect your chin or whatever the case is, but you didn't do shit to win the fight. And it's bringing down the stock of boxing. It's like boxing needs to do something to put more action in the main events. I don't know if they need to have like a circle in the ring within the square, and points get taken the more time you spend outside of that circle not engaging with your opponent. But something needs to be done to the sport in order to have the fighters engage more, especially fighters like Broner, where we know it's going to come and he not going to do shit, and he going to talk shit before and after and make it seem like the fight is what it is, but it's not. So I really didn't like this fight at all, and it's all on Broner, the reason why I didn't like it. I feel like this is helping to bring down one of the greatest sports on planet Earth, which is boxing. Like, it's not a good look. I don't ever want to see Broner in the ring again. I really don't want to see this dude in the ring again, because I feel like he doesn't put on any good fights anymore. He realizes that now he's gotten money. The fight purse, I looked at the fight purse, it was $10 million to Pacquiao and $2.5 to Broner. And I guess they get to split revenue or whatever the case is. If you watched the All Access, he was sitting there talking about how, some people got to win the lotto. To win the lotto, they got to do this and da-da-da-da-da. All I got to do is win a fight. And it's like, dude, you ain't even try to win that fight. To me, you didn't even try to win that fight. And to a lot of people that say, when we have commentary on boxing matches like this, a lot of people say, well, you get in there and you do that. To be honest with you, me at fucking 36 years of age, I could get in there and do what fucking Broner did. Let me train for a couple of weeks or a couple of months to fight fucking Pacquiao, and I could go in there and not get knocked out. Like, dude, that's all you did. That's all you fucking did. And again, dude, it's so disappointed. I'm so disappointed in this fight. It makes me so disappointed in the sport of boxing, especially for those the younger cats that's out there, the hungry dudes that's really, really, really coming to put on a show, that's really, really about that shit. And let me keep on my train of thought. The younger cats that's coming up, that's really putting in the work, really honing their craft, really making sure that they put on a show, and they giving the Badu Jack before that, the Badu Jack versus I think his last name was Harrison, might be wrong, but the Badu Jack right before that, dude, that dude literally blood and fucking guts, man. The nigga head was split the fuck open, and he stayed in the fight. He made every fucking excuse to, I'm good, because that's what we want to see in our main events. We want to see dudes like that in the main events that's really willing to die in there. We don't want to see fucking Broner out here that, every single time he looking up at the clock, he beating his chest like he doing something. When we know he ain't doing nothing, and he know he ain't doing nothing. It's like, yeah, dude, we want to see a show, but we want to see a show in skill. We want to see dudes technical. We want to see dudes physical, athletic out there. And he have all of those traits, but he just refused to let his hand go. I guess because he don't want to see his so-called pretty ass face get busted up. You know what I'm saying? So y'all let me know how y'all feel about the fight. I know for a fact nobody ain't gonna comment and say that, they think that Broner won this shit, because that's damn near impossible. So again, man, we usually don't do too many sports commentary on our channel. Just to let y'all know a little bit about our channel, we usually focus on entertainment. We do some sports. We do a lot of social issues. We do a little bit of politics. But it's Bootleg Cable Podcast, man. If you like this commentary, check out the full podcast with me and my homie Killer. You know what it is, man. I'm out. P-Double.